I invite you to be with us for the next hour. Meet visual anthropologist Charles Gatewood as he documents bizarre people, track down the elusive, blood-sucking beast known as Chupacabra, listen and learn about bizarre audio phenomena, experience the curse of an unusual California ghost town, and investigate the dark and mysterious world of actual human zombies. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Jay Robinson, and in this episode of Beyond Bizarre, we are experimenting with new theories about the strange and the unusual. We're measuring the accuracy of our results, and we're mixing up new solutions, sure to provide shocking reactions. What you are about to see has passed our unique litmus test. I will prove that these stories are truly beyond bizarre. Our world is full of weird places and things, but it is the behavior of people that is the most captivating to us. The behavior of others, strange and unusual, can beckon us to look at ourselves more deeply. Allow me to introduce you to some of the most bizarre people in society today. Pagans, Gothics, and the participants in a unique festival called Burning Man. Charles Gatewood, anthropologist and photographer. His unique work delves into the world of bizarre social behavior, which he peels like an onion to reveal ancient human traditions. When most people think of anthropologists, they envision khaki-clad researchers trekking into remote jungles to conduct field work. Charles Gatewood was uninspired by this approach. He began to photograph and study alternative culture.
After doing some graduate work in anthropology, I decided to hit the streets with my cameras and photograph American subcultures and try to bring back the same kinds of information that other anthropologists would bring back from New Guinea or Africa or so-called primitive cultures in other parts of the world. I have to be prepared when I go into the field, just like any anthropologist would have to do to go into any other subculture. I have to know the rites and rituals and the habits and the language and the interests of my subjects.
Charles Gatewood is drawn to offbeat human gatherings. Events like Burning Man provide a microcosm for much of his work.
Burning Man, I have such a good time at Burning Man. It started as a small, private celebration on the beach here where someone made a bonfire and a few friends danced around the fire. And the next year, he did it again at the same time, and more people came, and it's grown into this huge, modern, primitive art party ritual out in the Nevada desert.
Burning Man is mushroomed into a bizarre festival, an ever-growing celebration of pagan energy, free expression, and an affirmation of pagan values. On that level, Burning Man really is a modern-day pagan celebration. Each year it takes on an entirely new form. It's like a small civilization taking place, a new tribe being born.
I think there's a big hunger in this country for spirituality, and a lot of people are not happy with the old religions and the old spiritual ways, and that's been a really essential part of my work. I study people who are trying to reclaim their spirituality through rites and rituals that involve the body.
Zia and Dragon are Gatewood's favorite pagan couple. Their behavior includes employing a belief system based on ritual and magic. Dragon is an artist and a painter.
I just simply have had the sense all my life of never really fitting into the tribe that I was among.
Now that he has become a pagan, there is a bizarre twist to his approach.
I mean, I feel responsible for it in that I'm open to it. I'm able to take this energy and you know, put down my own fantasies and my own realities. But I also feel that I'm riding a wave of energy.
Zia works as an entrepreneur during workshops and rituals, but she is also a maker of potions, collects the essential oils and herbs herself. Pagans can turn to someone like Zia or patronize establishments such as ancient ways that stock key ingredients traditionally thought to bring added benefits to people's lives. Power, protection, and love. Pagans delve into the mysteries of magic and ancient rituals. In this New Age interpretation of the ancient Gothic culture, people dressed in theatrical vamp create their own special music.
Goth kids are on a quest, just like all these other groups are on a quest. They're looking for something, and they're not finding it in normal society, so they're making their own society.
I'm interested in the term Gothic in the traditional sense, where that is the sense of the Old English term, which was that of the barbarian, or one who's barbarous, meaning one who doesn't live within the confines of a society.
The whole scene for me, and for some people in the scene, is very much about getting in touch with some part of your soul. I mean, we're all in the scene for different reasons, but it's the only social scene I've ever found where you can try things out and test things, and you're not going to be shot down for it like you would in mainstream society. It's morally and socially, it's a lot freer that way. And my music plays that same role. It's used a lot to, you know, open certain doors, if you will. There is a reason why this scene is thriving, and we're all real people. There's no way you can understand it unless you have somehow involved yourself within those circles. If you can do something that extreme that is totally you, you know, the payback is incredible for you personally. Before I got into the Gothic scene, you know, I didn't really have much direction in life whatsoever, you know, and it really helped me see things in a positive light.
I've been like this pretty much all my life. I was kind of ostracized, and I just kind of took the low road and came to find other people who had also, and the things I found I liked, so that's how I came here.
And I grew up in Los Angeles, and I was kind of the odd person out. I was always into electronic music.
Though appearing Gothic and dark, the Gothic lifestyle enriches the lives of its followers.
Maybe a lot of people there were just dressing up, and maybe their interest is more theatrical and more make-believe, and maybe they romanticize vampires on a Hollywood level or an Anne Rice level or a Poppy Z. Brite level. But I know that a lot of the people there really are blood drinkers, believe it or not. Some of the people there are into ritual cutting, and many of the people there are into fluid bonding, exchanging blood, doing blood ritual. That's what my book is about. It examines blood ritual in the goth community, the pagan communities, the body modification communities, and sort of connects all the dots. Pagan rituals are designed to break up your normal flow of information, to disorient your senses, and they work on your mind, your body, and your spirit simultaneously. And it's all very scientific. The chants, the drums, the setting, the casting of the circle, it's all done the way it's been done for many thousands of years.
In these dark worlds, Charles Gatewood senses no limits. In these bizarre rituals, Charles Gatewood tastes the infinite. We are all more or less familiar with a variety of the world's most gruesome and often legendary monsters. The list includes werewolves, vampires, zombies, and even the devil himself. But a new monster has started making the rounds of our collective psyche. A mysterious, blood-sucking creature. Is it an alien visitor? Or an escapee from secret government tests gone awry? Whatever it is, it's terrorizing many communities. And its name is Chupacabra. Located 1,000 miles off the coast of Florida, Puerto Rico is a lush, tropical island paradise and popular tourist haven. With rugged mountains and striking coastlines, Puerto Rico is considered one of the most beautiful places on Earth. However, recent events threaten to shatter this image. Something has been mutilating the animals on the island. Initially, one would connect the attacks with a large predator. That explanation doesn't apply to Puerto Rico. The island has no known predator. Locals don't know what it is, but they have a name for it. They call it Chupacabra, Spanish for goat sucker, a name derived from the nature and ferocity by which it kills its victims. Even household pets have succumbed to the violence inflicted by this elusive creature. Islanders are becoming more alarmed as recent attacks have happened in broad daylight. No one knows where, when, what, or even who it will attack next. And no one is alone in their fear for their animals and even their families. Meanwhile, the death toll keeps rising. In 1975, reports of strange mutilations started coming out of the village of Mocha, located on the west side of the island. Locals named the creature El Vampira de Mocha, which means the vampire of Mocha. Local authorities dynamited an isolated cave believed to be the creature's lair. The attacks abruptly ended. Shortly after Hurricane Hugo devastated an area known as the Yunque Rainforest in September of 1989, the mutilations began to reoccur. A top-secret military laboratory was said to be located in this region, and it is believed that some genetic experiment escaped from the compound. Bob Schott, a supernatural headhunter, journeyed to Puerto Rico to investigate and search out this creature.
We first started hearing reports of these strange animal mutilations supposedly coming from a creature that the islanders called Chupacabras around the winter of 1995. Mainstream news media didn't start picking up on the story until around January of 1996. These mutilations were on chickens, sheep, goats, and even 1,000-pound cattle.
Bob Schott has interviewed literally hundreds of witnesses in his quest for answers, and even has an internet website at adventuresbeyond.com. This sheep's tail was torn out completely by the roots. Surrounding hair was also removed, exposing bare flesh.
Ask him if they can bring another sheep over here so we can make a comparison. Just tore it off, right?
Solo arrancó.
Did he find the tail?
¿Usted encontró el rabo?
No.
No, he didn't find the tail.
What kind of creature has the ferocity and power to make such vicious attacks? Is the Chupacabra as elusive as it is deadly? Or is the government covering up information that could lead to panic, chaos on the island?
What is it that could have caused these marks? Well, I would be speculating because the truth is, I don't know. It definitely wasn't something that just grabbed it and it was over like that. You can see the marks.
Although the government is saying very little, their silence may tell us more than what they do say. This artist's rendering was created from eyewitness descriptions of the creature.
What we found in the animals are small, I would say half an inch diameter in size, or maybe a fourth of an inch in size, holes, perfect circular holes that go deep into the animals. And the thing is that when we open the animals during the necropsies we have made together with veterinarians and specialists here in Puerto Rico, these ones go very deep into the animals. So we're not talking about common bites of dogs or baboons or monkeys, as the authorities here have tried to explain away these incidents.
What I can tell you is that we do have dead animals on the island, and I don't want to speculate because there's too many people on the island, and they have different opinions, but certainly we do have dead animals on the island.
According to numerous eyewitness accounts, the descriptions are basically the same. A hideous 3 to 5 foot creature with bat-like wings and huge red eyes. A cross between a monkey, a reptile, and a bat.
He looked like a person, big red eyes, big ears. He wanted to attack us. We kept running and he was behind us until we got here. He's like an animal, but he looks like a person too. That's what I saw.
With its thick vegetation, the Yunque Rainforest is perfect cover for any creature. This hilly and beautifully forested section of the island is known for its top-secret military base.
It's the belief of a lot of the residents there, very credible witnesses, investigators, that when Hurricane Hugo hit that island, it tore out part of that installation and something got loose. Possibly some experiments.
I'm very concerned right now. At this time, he's attacking sheep, animals, goats, horses, cows. But maybe tomorrow he goes for humans.
There's a lot of evidence there that can't be explained away by simple dog bites or ordinary attacks by some normal animal, as we know it. And I think that's the critical factor here. The problem is you can't get a straight answer from anybody.
Is it a cover-up that reaches to the highest levels of the government? What it is, or where it came from, no one really knows. Or do they? Humans have always been fascinated with strange sounds in nature. Strange and frightening sounds, not attributable to animals, birds, or insects, were interpreted as the communication of angry gods. Some ominous sounds were given explanations, but others remained unsolved. Essex County, north of Boston, is home to one of the strange sounds of nature that until recent history went unexplained and was called simply singing sand. Beaches of singing sands exist around the world. Naturalists, including Charles Darwin, have reported on the phenomena. However, simple curiosity initiated research to determine the source of the sand's squeaky song. One of the locals explains.
In 1905, Sears, who wrote the geology of Essex County, stated that he believed that the singing sands were the result of zircon and rutile crystals in the quartz and feldspar rubbing together. There's been another study done that was reported in Nature magazine. They hypothesized that it was silica on the outside of the grains of sand.
And so our research has taught us that if your sandy beach is squeaky clean, it will sing. Perhaps more unbelievable is what we will believe or want to believe.
5,000 people use this beach on a Sunday afternoon. And we tell them that on the 4th of July, the sand will squeak out or sing Yankee Doodle. And some of them believe us.
Our interest in what is different, what is unique, is insatiable. We seek it out wherever we can find it, even in a place that may seem otherwise ordinary. Wherever we leave our footprints, we will always look for the extraordinary. The mystery of sand sounds goes beyond singing to loud groans and booms. Marco Polo spoke of supernatural sounds coming from the desert sands. Pilgrims on the Sinai felt the sounds they heard were bells from a buried ancient monastery. The Bedouin people there believe the sounds they hear come from an angry god. A sacred site to Native American peoples, the Great Sand Dunes National Park boasts shifting sands that create groans. Along with scores of visitors each year, the park's rangers are intrigued by the sand dunes and their odd intonations.
This area is a very quiet place. Matter of fact, it's one of the quietest places around. And because of this, perhaps other natural sounds are more enhanced. The singing sands is a phenomena that that occurs when there's been a movement of sand. It's an actual sound that is produced when the sand moves, usually in large quantities.
The booming sands, or the low-pitched sand sound, is often attributed to desert dune fills because that occurs on slip faces. In order to have a slip face, you need to have a well-developed dune, and that's usually not common on beach sands. That's why the booming sounds are attributed to dune fills.
The great dunes have inspired strange behavior in modern man. They seem to elicit a response from us. For some, recreation. Others may have a deeper emotional response, such as fear. Some simply wonder. When it comes to seeing and hearing bizarre occurrences in nature, some people are more sensitive than others. Taos, New Mexico is home to some of these people, as well as a baffling sensation known as the Taos hum.
It's here all the time. It's present. It's present right now.
You can hear it?
I can hear it right now.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
There's a very high level of dis-ease occurring in Taos at this time. And it's been building, and I think that it's going to get worse unless we can find this monster and turn it off.
The Saltzmans are certainly hearing something or sensing something, and it's very disturbing to them. That's clear to me, and a lot of other people are too. So there's something real here, at least as far as people's perceptions, and people are hurting.
Meet Winona Whitted. With her mother suffers effects of the Taos hum. Winona has spent the last 10 years investigating and gathering information about this enigma.
The so-called Taos hum began to destroy the quality of the life of the members of my family in late 1988.
It was then that Winona began to struggle against the sounds which had infiltrated her life.
The sounds are anywhere from clicking sounds, like the sounds of little tiny beetles, a hissing sound, and then sensation-wise, there are just incredible numbers of symptoms. Blurred vision, loss of hair, headaches, hissing sounds in my ears, buzzing sounds in my head that seem to be electronically controlled.
Some feel that power stations produce these sounds, but utilities officials deny the allegations.
I panicked, and I thought, I knew that I had to get away.
Winona moved south in an attempt to escape the sound, which she heard as a constant low hum or buzz.
It's just there constantly. It's this constant rumbling in the background. And every time the wind drops or, you know, there's a lull in the conversation, it's just there. It's just pervasive.
The scientific communities cannot seem to pick these frequencies up on their normal equipment that they use to pick up extremely low frequencies. What they're doing is they're missing the point.
What I hear sounds very much like the description of many of the Taos people is like a big truck idling in the far distance continuously when there's no truck.
It's a potential. It's a vectorless energy.
We may never identify the source of this eerie and ominous sound. We can all agree, however, that whatever it is beyond bizarre. Webster defines a curse as an appeal to a super Most of us have heard the tales of wicked witches in Salem, who in their dying breath placed a curse on the local populace. Could such a thing actually exist? Join me as we explore the possibilities and witness the curse of Bizarre Bodie. There are many types of curses. Our definitions are inspired by a variety of sources: Hollywood films, newspapers, books and the popular media, and real-life tales like the curse of the tomb of Egypt's King Tut. Another real-life curse seems to plague a California ghost town known as Bodie, where visitors can be cursed for removing any artifact no matter how small.
The curse still exists today. We still get letters that come back from people saying, I'm sorry I took this, hoping my luck will change, sometimes very brief. Some people even put their names and addresses on, apologizing. Most of it comes back in an unmarked box, maybe a postage stamp from someplace in the United States, or even a couple from overseas.
Perhaps the curse of Bodhi is real. But to better understand this haunted place, let's travel back in time to the days of Western expansion. Pioneers in search of the land of milk and honey were forced to cross a blasted and desolate terrain. Wave after wave of adventurers came and quickly realized they would be lucky to survive and escape the wrath of the desert. Many did not. The Sierra Nevada mountain range seemed like the last of a series of grueling trials for these settlers. But alas, there were other obstacles to come. This high desert was now dominated by long, dormant volcanic peaks, spewing scalding water, its face cracked by earthquakes. One pioneer, after reaching the area near Bodhi, lamented, "Seems like this land has been touched by the very hand of Satan." To the pioneers, the land itself seemed tortured. Even the hope of fresh water was a ruse. Mono Lake, the only body of water within miles, was poisonous. Its high alkaline content left behind strange skeletal fingers on the edge of a dead sea. Why would settlers choose to remain? A few miles north of Mono Lake, Bodhi was established to accommodate the search for an element that would make this area thrive. Gold. Late in 1859, William S. Bodhi uncovered a vein of gold at the foot of Bodhi Bluff. The main rush to Bodhi began in April of 1877 with the formation of the Standard Mining Company. At the height of the boom, Bodhi was so rough and wicked that shootings, stabbings, and thefts took place nearly every day. Quote a young girl of this era, "Goodbye, God, we're moving to Bodhi." Wells Drury, the famous editor of Virginia City, Nevada, remembered a remark by a local undertaker which enhanced Bodhi's notorious reputation. "We never get any breaks in this business here in Virginia City. As soon as the local talent gets to thinking they're tough, they go try it out in Bodhi. Bodhi undertakers get the job of burying them. But when the gold ran out in Bodhi, most of the bad men left with it."
As quickly as Bodhi rose, it died off. Some people like to say that it was due to respectability coming to the town. At its peak, they called Bodhi the last of the old-time mining camps, wildest camp in the West, and they blamed respectability on its death.
But sometimes the dead do not rest in peace, and Bodhi's ghosts are beginning to stir once again. The town was recently brought back to life as a tourist attraction. People now come from all over the U.S. and around the world for a glimpse into the past, to get a taste of a real ghost town, and to investigate stories that there is something still here in Bodhi, something that is unseen. Bodhi's inhabitants were of hardy stock, fiercely possessive of what they had built in this barren desert. And it is said that the long-dead spirits want to ensure that what they left behind remains intact. According to legend, anyone who removes anything, large or small, from the town is cursed with a string of bad luck. Misfortune and tragedy are heaped upon the victim until the stolen item is returned. Some claim that the ghosts of Bodhi patrol the crumbling ruins to guard against thieves.
Today, with Bodhi being a ghost town, a lot of people come here and they want to take a little piece of Bodhi home with them. But we got a letter back one time from somebody who sent us back a square nail. And they had hoped that by sending back this square nail, maybe this would appease the spirits, so to speak.
That letter was among the first attempts to cancel out the curse, but hundreds would follow, as Bodhi State Historic Park librarian Denise Lidstrom explains.
This family had found one weathered, beaten old shoe, and they contribute their sinking of their commercial fishing vessel to removing it. They say anyone tempted to take a souvenir from Bodhi is to look but don't touch.
Among the many displays in the Bodhi Museum are hundreds of returned artifacts. They come from around the world, each accompanied by a story of terrible bad luck. Most are written by one-time skeptics turned true believers.
It's a strange story. My uncle was visiting from Germany, and I took him to see the ghost town. After we walked around, he found a bottle, a small blue glass, and he took it home with him. 2 days later, my father called and said my uncle was in a car crash on the Autobahn. The next day, my cousin took the bottle to school to show his classmates. On the way home, he had an accident on his bicycle. Yeah, I do believe in the curse of Bodhi.
We took this trip last summer to Bodhi on our way back from Mammoth Lakes, and I didn't see Jack take a nail.
I picked up a nail, and I didn't think it was a big deal.
We have this brand new car that all of a sudden won't start. And I was kidding when I asked him, did you take anything?
I said, yeah, I picked up a nail. So I put the nail back, and the car started up right away. And I said it had to have been the nail.
We couldn't believe it. We definitely believe in the curse.
Yeah, there's a curse here.
If by mistake or design, you take the gamble of removing an artifact from its resting place, you run the risk of returning home with a little more history than you had bargained for. The curse of Bodhi. In the dark and lonely corridors of our minds lie fears so terrifying and gruesome, we often hesitate to even contemplate them. Chief among these fears is the shadowy belief of life after death. No, not heaven or hell, but a life after death of servitude and mortal slavery. Hollywood has painted a graphic picture for us all to see. And what is illustrated on that canvas is what we have all come to know as
zombie, a living dead.
Would there be a link between the presumed dead walking the earth and the cinema version of a zombie? What is a zombie? Flesh-eating, the undead are unstoppable, and under the control of an evil sorcerer. Who has the power to awaken the dead? And if zombies exist, what evil do they intend? Today in the Caribbean nation of Haiti, the fear of being turned into a zombie is far greater than one might suppose. Haitian religious societies are controlled by voodoo priests. Evil priests are known as Bokor.
They make a zombie of somebody for two reasons. First of all, they want to punish somebody who did something wrong, something they did not approve. Or the second reason is that the Hunga sell people as slaves, people who are working for them for nothing.
The first step in reanimating the dead requires the creation of a mysterious medicine or zombie powder. This process takes place in secluded areas, well away from prying eyes. The ingredients mirror a witch's brew: human bones, poisonous seeds and plants, toads, lizards, and spiders. Acutely aware of the danger in handling the ingredients, the Beaucorps' assistants avoid any direct contact, especially with the flesh of the pufferfish, which contains a highly lethal poison. The active ingredient, however, is the datura plant.
This is the flower of the datura plant, which is a toxic plant, which is known as one of the plants which is used currently to make a zombie.
Dried datura is added to the mixture, along with other final ingredients. Though we know some of these ingredients, the preparation includes secrets outside our realm of knowledge. The making of zombie powder is a dangerous practice, and even a slight shift in the wind can cause inhalation and certain death. Once administered, the powder will reduce the body's metabolism to a death-like state. The method of administering this powder is not well documented. It is believed to be inhaled or ingested orally. After the powder is administered, a victim is laid to rest. People in Haiti are so concerned about the possibility of a loved one returning as a zombie that burial often takes place while keeping the body's resting place a secret from a Beaucorps or zombie maker. Terravis Narcisse died May 5th, 1962, and was pronounced dead by an American physician. But did he die?
This is a man of 48 that went in the hospital because he was spitting blood. He spent 2 days in the hospital and he was dead.
A death certificate was issued shortly thereafter. The body was promptly buried.
Now, 18 years later, we hear about him. And what is amazing is that all the people, without exception, everybody recognized him.
According to Narcisse, he became the property of a Beaucorps until the Beaucorps' death 2 years later. But what happened to the other 16 years before he resurfaced? Fearing that his own brother had played a part in making him a zombie, Narcisse stayed away from his home village until news of his brother's death. Though unable to move, Narcisse was conscious during his burial. Only with family members present is Narcisse willing to recount the horror of his burial and the weight of the earth upon him. The coffin maker spoke to Dr. Munson about his recollections of that night. One incident in particular stands out in his memory.
When he was putting the nail in the coffin, he remembers that he had made a wound to the body of in the face. And now when you see this person again, you can see the scar from this nail puncture in the face. So we have a lot of events, well, we cannot put them together. So the conclusion is impossible for us.
As impossible as it sounds, the fact remains that Narcisse was interred in this graveyard. Narcisse sometimes visits his grave. It's a slow and silent journey he often makes, and Narcisse considers his good fortune in outliving the Beaucorps who had enslaved him. more than 30 years have passed. The inscription clearly spells out his name, Narcisse. This case intrigued local physicians and prompted the psychiatric hospital in Port-au-Prince to try and create its own zombie powder. They speculate that in combination with the tetrodotoxin from the pufferfish and the other mysterious ingredients, that the possibility of zombification is real. As proof of this, you can now watch as the heart monitor records an almost death-like state. This man, Narcisse, a survivor, is a living example of a Hollywood myth. And though the myth may be considered true, it is also truly beyond bizarre. For now, this experiment is over, and I hope you have enjoyed the efforts of our strange style of research. I'm Jay Robinson. Please join us again for another round of tests. The results are always remarkable. Prognosis is always unusual, and no matter what our laboratory is cooking up, the final analysis will always be beyond bizarre.